But in our last consultation, let me see here in my notes. Ah, yes, you told me your heart belonged to a maid with hair of onyx black that doth make the finest ebony go grey with envy.
You mean my cousin Marion? Pish! That was naught but a childish fancy. I bid you, Forman, pray focus on the matter at hand, for if you do not help me win my true love's favour, my bursting heart will tear asunder, my soul will wither unto...
Aye, as you will. Let us see what guidance can be had from the stars. How may Lancelot Moore win the heart of this golden-haired maiden?
Hold on, give me a moment, considering the stream cut out really early too. From what I understand, just listening to the dialogue, Moore no longer loves his cousin Marion and wants to marry someone else. Well, so long as it's not his cousin, I guess it's okay. How can Moore win the heart of his true love? Let's see. A sudden religious conversion is strongly advised. The person he does want to go after is quite demure and devout, I guess. Moore's hopes will be realized, but he must be self-disciplined and patient. It would help him, I suppose. A maid's secret nature is hidden beneath a veil of false religious fervor? That's not cool. Moore may win the lady's hand in marriage with jewelry and fine... No, that's terrible. It would appear that Moore has a brutish nature. He kind of does, but, like, can I help him? Like, legitimately help him? Moore should lie about the size of his fortune. No. A trifling task for such an oversauced peacockle. Lying's never good in a relationship. A maid's father has a deceitful business partner. Wait, what was that? Mercury in detriment and retrograde? This is just a liar who has turned. A turncoat? House of religion? House of hopes? He's not gonna like the solution, but I like the solution. So, here you go, Moore.
It would seem the lady is a modest and pious maid, for the stars urge you to exercise patience and restraint. Although your rivals be fierce, your sword must remain in its sheath, if you take my meaning.
Huh? Keep my sword sheathed? Oh, you think I do verily use my sword to fight with? Oh, ye gods, no. The sword I wear is purely ornamental. If you paid more attention to the current fashion, you would know that, Forman.
But that is not what I... Oh, never mind. What I mean to say is that your attack on the maid's heart must be spiritual. Have you considered converting to Puritanism? Only temporarily, of course.
God's teeth! The heavens advise me to become a Puritan? In truth, this is ill to hear, for black is not a becoming colour on my person. Still, the stars do speak truth about my love, for she does oft prattle on about sin and hellfire. Good day to you, Forman. I must go at once to my tailor to be fitted for the latest and most loathsome Puritan fashions.
Good luck with that. Quarren did wish to know how he might win the heart of a golden-haired maiden. I did advise to Quarren to respect the pious modesty of his beloved. However, I fear he has not the wit to grasp my meaning. Of course not. Methinks de Quarren was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. So thoroughly will I impress the maiden with my Puritanism that she will fall into my arms like a halfpenny strumpet. Good luck, sir. Sir, I write to you to express my gratitude, for it seems you did heed my entreaty not to encourage my husband Nicholas in his delusions. Although he was a trifle disappointed by the judgment you gave him at his last consultation, he has now found other notions to occupy him. He has lately developed an interest in the life-extending powers of standing on one foot for protracted periods of time. Aquarius' grateful wife, Sarah Mugg. Ah yes, the delusional patient. Wrong button. How am I doing with him anyways? 40 out of 10. If Devereaux came back, I could probably get his letter of rec. If Fortescue came back, I could probably get her letter of rec too. Everyone else seems quite unlikely, for now, at least. And I did miscount. I thought Thomas Blagg... For some reason, I thought this was like Simon for some reason. So I do have 3 more patients I have yet to meet. Let's keep going.
Alice Blagg, she likes a drink. She does care not what you think. A head may end up down the sink, but Alice cares not what you think.
Well, now I know she's a drunk. Sort of.
Good day, Mistress Blagg. What brings you?
Oh, Dr. Forman, I have worked myself into such a state that I have urgent need of you.
Oh, you have you? Well then, let me just,
Yea, I have urgent need of your counsel. I am certain that my husband Blagg is hiding a shameful secret from me. As you doubtless did note from my flushedness of face and heaving of bosom, I burn with the fever of suspicion and curiosity.
Indeed, I did remark a fever upon your person, and wish fervently that I may bring it to a speedy resolution. Let us see. What is this secret that your husband, Thomas Blagg, hides from you?
Oh, what's the dean doing now? Appears that Alice is to inherit wealth one day. Alice's husband serves his wife and family well through his frugal management of their affairs. No, he doesn't. I see intelligence, authority, yea, verily. Alice is impressed by my authority and intelligence. Simon, please, keep it in your pants. Alice's husband's business instincts are misdirected. Yes. Alice's husband has been carelessly optimistic with the family's finances. Also true. The secret relates to a sudden transformation in fortune. Surely this refers to the Spanish treasure expedition Alice's husband invested in, but would it be right to reveal what I know to Alice? Patient confidentiality dictates yes, but, like, Blagg is terrible anyway. A religious romance? Oh, that settles it. Be it is.
I fear the secret your husband hides is a sudden transformation from wealth to pauperdom. For he has been careless with your family's finances by making a series of bad business investments.
Lawks a mercy, that boil-brained chump has ruined us. Upon my virtue, I can hardly bear to think on it. Nay,
He might have been more accurate, actually.
I cannot even. Say, is that medicinal wine I spy on the shelf behind you, good sir? Prithee, pour your patient a dose of it. Simon makes a fine figure when he reads the stars wisely. Mayhap I stay a while and take wine and a little else with him.
Ew. Quern did wish to know the secret she thinks her husband, Thomas Blagg, is hiding. Did reveal that the Quern's husband has mismanaged a family fortune. Methinks the Quern was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Coitus post consultatio. Another married woman. Seriously, Forman? Of all the vices, why must my husband choose greed? A drunken fornicator gives a wife far less trouble than a gambler. Really? I guess. Whatever floats your boat, lady.
Alas, for little Emma, such sorrow she has borne, since she was made a lady. for Lady Anne, such sorrow she has borne.
Did she kill another one? This is her second husband. Oh well.
Good day, Mistress Delamere.
Good day, Dr. Forman. 'Tis Lady Dyer now.
Oh, you're
I
Delamere.
remarried after poor Mr. Delamere passed.
Verily? Oh, I am full sorry to hear of your husband's demise, my lady.
In truth, the circumstances of his death trouble me still, for my husband was hanged, Dr. Forman.
By the saints, he was?
Aye, indeed, for I took him to the hangings at Tyburn, as you advised, to cure his quinsy with the hand of a fresh corpse. But there was some confusion with our transport, and my husband somehow found himself in the same cart as the men who were to be hanged. And try as we might, we could not make the hangman heed our protestations. Oh.
On my word, I did never hear of so tragical an error. Oh, what a ghastly business. You must have been most distressed.
Yes, I was. So I hope you will understand why I worry for the health of my new husband, Lord Dyer. Mayhap 'tis naught at all, and yet...
And yet you would wish to know so that you may rest easier. Why, of course, my lady. Pray, describe Lord Dyer's troubles to me, no matter how trifling they may seem to you.
Well, I have noted that my husband awakens many times in the night to make water. Mayhap 'tis the reason why he tires so easily during the day. And he does oft complain of thirst and hunger, even after meals.
Frequent urination, tiredness, dog-like appetite and thirst. Be there anything else?
There is also a small wound on his hand. It does not appear grave, yet it has not healed, even though it be some weeks since he cut himself.
A wound that will not heal. Then let us see what the stars have to say. Be there any grave illness troubling Mr. John Delamere?
Methinks you mean Lord Henry Dyer, Dr. Forman.
I beseech your pardon, my lady. What illness troubles Lord Henry Dyer?
I don't think you guys did a mix-up with your second husband. I think you put him there on... Lady, are you just murdering your husbands for, like, money? And you're planning on killing Dyer now? Okay. Lord Dyer's troubled with the diabetes. Possible. He's bewitched. Gangrene in the hand characterized by inflammation caused by corrupt... It might be gangrene. If it's a cut that won't heal... Possibly.
May calm your fears, my lady. Nothing is the matter with your husband besides the wound on his lordship's hand.
He has no grave afflictions, then?
Oh wait, he might also have
you
diabetes.
predict no illness that could provoke his death?
Nay, my lady. For the treatment of his hand, Lord Dyer might consider seeing his barber surgeon and having him apply leeches to the wound. 'Twill draw out corrupted blood and hasten the healing.
How well it is to receive such reassurance from you, Dr. Forman. I shall at once to home go and beseech Lord Dyer to call upon his barber surgeon. God give you good day.
You're gonna get him killed somehow still, aren't you, lady? Quarren did wish to know whether her husband, Lord Henry Dyer, was troubled by a condition that could provoke that Lord to take him to a barber surgeon to have the wound drained with leeches. Methinks de Quarren took my advice a little ill. It probably might be diabetes too. It could be both, really. What a vexing day this has been. Mayhap I stop in the Quiet Bear for a drink. You really want to get your husbands killed.
Here comes
Oh, it's very good.
She must not fall and stare. Mine else would she have come here. Mayhap she's gravely ill.
She is gravely ill. In the head.
Good day, Mistress Allen. I hear a child was lately born to you. I trust he is well?
Yes, indeed. God has favoured us with a healthy boy. He is a true blessing to Mr. Allen and me. And we pray he remains so. That is, that this child remains in good health. And as I do ail of something, normally I would not have come, but methinks 'tis best I am treated, for the sake of Marmaduke, lest he take ill from me.
I see. Then pray describe your troubles to me, Mistress Allen.
Well, in truth, 'tis but a cough, but indeed at first I thought 'twas naught but a chilly cold, but 'tis many weeks now, and it lingers still. Forsooth, I am afeard it does grow worse.
Many weeks, you say? Aye, that is most concerning. Let us see what the stars have to say. What ails Mistress Avis Allen, and how may she be cured?
She dying. Okay. Mistress Allen has a grave case of mattering in the breast. Is this breast cancer? Mistress Allen has been bewitched and is in mortal danger. You're probably bewitched.
Before I complete my judgment, madam, I must ask a question of medical relevance. Who is the true father of your...
God mend me, Simon! You would plague me with your suspicious fancies even now, in my very hour of need. Have you no thought for my son and my... I am full sick of your jealous delusions. Oh, verily, I should never have come. I will bid ye good day now, Simon.
But would you not wish to know what ails you?
Indeed, I would. Which is why I will be finding myself another doctor.
She dead. Querent presented with a severe cough. I was too distracted to judge the Querent's illness. Thanks to Querent, took my advice well. Way to go, Simon. I will find myself a true physician, a doctor who has a medical license. You dead.
When the story seems both crucial facts left untold. When the story seems both crucial facts left untold. When Forman protests his cause to the testes. Ferraro, Signor Ferraro.
Are you really not a lady?
Good day, Signor Ferraro. How may I do you service?
How may you do me service, huh? 'Tis a question, is it not? I do hear you offer many different services, huh? Not just in medicine, for you are a dottore of a special kind, one who gives answers to all the problems, see?
Forsooth, 'tis true, Signor. In my practice, I endeavor to treat the whole man, mind, body, soul, the location of his missing household items. All are connected at a holistic level. I take it this time you are come about a problem that does not pertain to a bodily complaint?
See, tis my mama. She does worry night and day. She say, Ricardo, you must go to the wise man who reads the stars and have him tell you what your future holds. I say, Mama, if it'll make you happy, I will go to Signor Forman and ask him.
I see. And is there any particular reason for your mother to be thus concerned? Be you faced with some kind of imminent danger?
A particular reason, you say? Nay, signor, she needs no reason to worry. Mia madre is an Italiana, mama.
Ah, yes, of course.
You see now, huh? She is not like these London mamas who make the children live in a cupboard with the dog.
Well, then, mayhap the stars might offer your devoted mother some comfort. What does the future hold for Ricardo Ferraro and his mother?
Why are your requests so random? Okay, my relationship with Signor Ricardo is about to undergo a sudden transformation. Really? Signor Ricardo? Ricardo Ferraro is an authority figure who holds a position of responsibility at a learned institution. Ricardo Ferraro is not being honest, and soon his deceptions may be discovered. A young man who is in a relationship with Signor Ferraro's mother is a hypocrite who will betray her. Ferraro will one day inherit an agreeable sum from his mother. The Ferraro family is frugal. This includes Signora Ferraro, who has carefully managed her personal fortune. Well, he asked specifically about him and his mother. I don't want to...
My chart shows that your mother has been frugal and careful with her personal fortune. As a result, you are due to receive a fine inheritance upon her death.
How lovely.
But beware.
Ah, this story has a twist, does it?
Aye, you are in danger of having your inheritance stolen, for your mother has begun a relationship with, yes, a hypocritical young man. He professes to love your mother, but in truth, 'tis but her fortune that inspires his ardour.
Ha! What a fruity tale you tell! Verily, you might sell these ridiculous stories of yours to William Shakespeare.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Shakespeare does oft come
Look at you, sirrah, a charlatan who would call himself a doctor. You are naught but a pretender.
Fie, sir! It is you who are the pretender, for 'tis clear you are not the merchant of Venice you pretend to be. Who are you? What is your true name, sir?
You will know it in time, sirrah, for we shall meet again. I bid you good day, Dr. Forman.
Should have gone with the other one. Oh well. Aquarius did wish to know what the future holds for him and his mother. I did warn Aquarius that his mother plans to leave her fortune to a young man who does not love her. Well... who are you? Sir, it is with much sorrow that I write to inform you of the death of my dear wife, Avis, these 2 days past. Her new doctor could not save her, even though he held a medical license and was thus highly skilled. Although you were no longer my wife's doctor, I am grateful for the kindness you have shown Avis over the years, and I know she was too. Indeed, she spoke of you in her final words, saying, "Oh, Simon, forgive me, Simon," or something of the like. Doubtless this expression of guilt was in reference to a bill for your services that she has not yet settled. How like my poor wife to have been thinking of her obligations to others until her very last breath. I enclose with this missive the sum of 1 shilling and beg your forgiveness for late payment. Your most assured friend, William Allen. Wow, you knew nothing about your wife's infidelity. Okay. Dude, blame yourself, you sicko.
But why did you not let me save you, Avis? Why did you entrust your precious life to another doctor? An ignorant impostor who knows not how to read the stars to judge an illness. Oh, my beloved Avis. Why did you die before I had the chance to...
Who is to blame for the death of my beloved Avis? You sicko! God is punishing me for not having been a more pleasant romantic partner for Avis. I caused this tragedy by being aggressive and careless in my behavior toward Avis. Essentially, yes. Lies and rumors circulating about Avis, considering her Catholic faith and mayhap even our affair, provoked anxious passions that exacerbated her illness. Avis lavished such attention and care on her child, she neglected her own health. Avis's surprising decision to see a new doctor led to her death. Avis's death was the fault of a licensed doctor with a medical degree. Dude, it's your own fault, jeez.
It was I. I am to blame for Avis's death. If only I had not driven away with my ill-tempered, unkind accusations. Would that I had turned my thoughts to her illness and away from my own selfish needs. How will she ever? How will I ever forgive myself?
I judge that I am to blame for Avis's death. If I had not driven her away, I might have cured her of her illness. Wow. Oh, Avis, if I summon my spirit guides to aid me, would you consent to speak to me from beyond the grave?
When you are shook by something in a book where it says that you might have some rare malady, see Dr. Forman, be sure to inform him you have it on very good authority.
Yeah, Mr. Delusions.
Good day, Mr. Mugg. What brings you?
I am exceeding ill, Dr. Forman. Verily I am. And you know my wife. She is refusing to hear anything about it. 'Tis but another of your delusions, Nicholas, she says. She will not even look at it.
Look at what? Oh, I see. You may pull up your breeches now. Pray let me examine you more closely. Raise your chin, if you please. Now, loosen your garter and remove your stocking. I am afeard this verily is grave. Most grave indeed.
'Tis? Verily?
I believe so. But we must have it confirmed by the stars. Let us consult them now. What explains these swellings that have arisen on various parts of Nicholas Mugg's body?
The plague? Pustulous swellings on my body. What ails me? Scrofula. Disease characterized by swellings and nodules around the lymph nodes and behind the knee. The plague. Disease characterized by swellings and boils behind the ears, under the armpits, and in the groin. I'm pretty sure it's the plague. Although the plague affects your lymph nodes too, and that would be like behind the ears, armpits.
You are gravely ill with the plague. It is oft fatal, but you are in good hands. For during the Great Plague of '92, I was able to save many a soul from the grave with my famous strong water. A moment, if you please, while I retrieve it from my cabinet. But, sir, unhand it, sir. The dosage is very precise. Ye gods, man! What have you done?
Methinks I am dying.
Oh, woe! A fatal dose! Alas, I am sorry for it, sir, but you were never meant to drink so much of it. Oh, may God forgive me.
Nay, do not blame yourself, Doctor. Thank ye heartily, for at last all shall know, my wife, my friends, how wrong they were, and how I did speak true.
William! William! Oh, curse it, where is that feckless manservant of mine? William! Go forth and fetch the vicar!
We killed the dude. I did diagnose the plague and prescribed a dose of my strong water as treatment, but the Aquarian did prescribe himself many more doses and died thereof. Well, here goes that letter of wreck. Whoops.
Mr. Forman, you have been called before this assembly of the College of Physicians to answer the charge of practicing medicine without a medical license. What have you to say in your defense? Would you deny practicing medicine, sir?
Why, no, I would not deny it. My practice is well known. Indeed, since I helped cure the plague of '92 with my strong water...
Then you admit you have committed this most grievous offence.
Ah, well, 'tis true I'm not technically licensed, but I fail to see how...
You fail to see? Then permit me to enlighten you, sir. A medical license assures the residents of London that a physician has the necessary education and skill to treat them. By practicing without qualification, you have not only broken the law, you have endangered the lives of your patients. Indeed, we have received reports that a man by the name of Nicholas Mugg, a wig maker of Silver Street, has lately died under your care.
Aye, well, that was most lamentable, but not my fault, sir. Mr. Mugg took a far greater dose of my strong water than I advised him to. He chose the dosage himself. In truth, one might say that the cause of death in this instance was, well, Nicholas Mugg practicing without a medical license.
Silence, Mr. Forman! Your impudent japery may well be suffered by your patients, but it will not be tolerated here.
I do apologize, Mr. Smith.
Besides the death of this patient, we have gathered ample evidence of your malpractice, Mr. Forman. Indeed, we have had this illegal operation of yours under observation for quite some time.
'Twas you, Riccardo Ferraro, the merchant from Venice. All along he was you, Richard Smith, the Queen's royal physician. Then I take it, Mr. Smith, you were unsatisfied with the medical care I gave you?
Sir, we are well aware of your occult practices. What you so boldly call medical care was naught but advice conjured up by means of dark magic. You have no understanding of physic or astrology.
But my knowledge of both physic and astrology is unparalleled.
If that is so, then doubtless you will happily submit to having your knowledge examined before this assembly.
Which planar star represents authority? Oh, screw it. I didn't pay attention. It's not Mars, I don't think. Is it Mercury or the Sun? It's the Sun, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Phlegm is cold and moist. Which zodiac rules over the preview parts? That's Scorpio.
Silence! Simon Forman, it is apparent your answers were given to you by demon spirits that you have been communing with under the table.
That's rude.
Constable, shackle this man and take him from hence to jail.
But, sir, this is most unjust. Pray afford me the chance to unhand me, you rogue.
Sir, I am happy to inform you that I have secured your release from jail by way of my friendship with Mistress Maud Smith, wife of the president of the College of Physicians. We have contrived to have her husband believe that you enjoy the favor of John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and that the Archbishop plans to grant you a medical license. But whilst you will be freed this day, our ruse will not hold for long, for Maud says the college intends to write to the Archbishop to warn him that you are a charlatan and to urge him not to grant you a license. Your most assured friend and querent, Alice Blogg. Thanks, Alice.
Alice Blogg, she feels no shame, and forsooth is she to blame. If we were her, we'd do the same. Alice Blogg, she feels no shame.
Shame for what? Oh, I remember.
Good day, Mistress Blogg. Before we start, I must thank you for having used your influence to help me resolve my recent difficulties.
Say nothing of it. Those doctors and their College of Physicians. Naught but a band of piss-pot sniffing bullies, so they are. Besides, I needed you out of prison so that you might read the stars for me.
I see. And what would you have me advise you on?
What know you of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London?
Not much, in truth. But I did attend the Easter service at St. Paul's. I found the bishop's sermon on the virtues of chastity and abstinence most compelling. Why, you know him well?
Not very well as yet. I was seated beside him at an Episcopal dinner Saturday last. We discoursed a while. Bishop Bancroft is a most charming man. But there was a moment when we did both reach for the brandy decanter. Our eyes met and I felt something.
'Twas a spark between you and the bishop? You felt a certain frisson in the air?
Nay, I felt a certain hand up my skirts, more like.
Ew.
His Grace put his hand up your skirts. Madam, may I say how...
Save your congratulations, Forman. The bishop's not in the bag yet. Hence why I am come to you. Now that I have piqued his interest, I would have the stars tell me how to secure it.
Then you wish to pursue an amorous affair with Bishop Bancroft. But what of your husband, Dean Blogg?
Oh, do not speak to me of my husband. Thomas Blagg is not fit to secure his wife's future. He is not fit for many of his marital duties, truth be told. But you did warn me of Blagg's financial ruin, and for that I am grateful.
Forsooth, I am glad I was able to be of service to you, Mistress Blagg.
Speaking of such, let us press on with this day's readings, if you please.
Of course. Let us consult the stars. How may Mistress Blagg secure the lasting affections of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London?
Okay. Alice should commit adultery with the bishop while he is away from home? Oh, that's wrong. Alice should lie to the bishop by telling him she was with child. That's totally wrong. If Alice changes her approach and exercises constraint, good angels will aid her in her plans. Alice's chance of romantic success will be enhanced if she adopts a quiet, demure manner. The responsible thing to do would be to tell Alice some hard truths and afford her some perspective. Her reaction to this, however, might be unpredictable. I wasn't going to pick this anyways. Alice seems like the type to just go for it. Alice is being careless with her husband's legacy. Engaging in sin would go against Alice's Christian instincts. Okay, none of them are saying go for it, except for this one, but this one is just wrong. Mars falling in Cancer, Mercury's falling. But this one is so unpredictable. Do I take the chance, or... She doesn't even like her husband, so I might as well.
The stars advise you to conduct your wooing of the Bishop Bancroft with constraint and discipline. You must be strict. Allow him no intimacies.
I see. Keep the bishop's hands off me till he begs for it. Until he be driven so mad with lust he would offer anything for a tumble.
'Tis one interpretation, certainly. 'Tis true that Lady Anne Boleyn found success with such a stratagem in her pursuit of the late King Henry Tudor. At least, up to a point.
Aye, poor lady. Be there anything else?
My chart does also advise you to adopt a manner that is quiet, gentle, and demure.
Verily, I will not lie. This is beginning to sound like a cod's load of work. Mayhap I play dumb with the bishop and merely nod and smile at everything he says. But 'tis the stratagem used by Jane Seymour, I believe. And unlike Anne Boleyn, she bagged her king without losing her head, did she not?
Okay. Querent did wish to know how she might secure the lasting affections of Richard Bancroft, Bishop of London. Did advise a Querent to exercise constraint and adopt a gentle manner in the company of the bishop. Methinks the Querent was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Coitus post consultatio. Really, Alice? Yeah. Yes, your grace. Nay, your grace. Pray remove your hand, your grace. Needs must but bugger this for a lark. Jeez.
Lancelot more, lovely his passion, lacking in mind, fulsome in fashion, the unwise truths cause him start, he yet persists in chasing.
Did the girl not work out?
Good day, sir, and well met. Oh, pray tell, did you secure the hand of the golden-haired maiden?
Yeah, verily I did. My religious conversion to Puritanism did work wondrous well to win her favour.
Ah, then my advice was sound.
Aye, after I told her that I thought the Queen dresses like a strumpet, the Pope is the demon son of Satan, and that Will Shakespeare and his players should be driven into the Thames to drown, She became convinced of the purity of my soul. I was made the happiest of men.
Then I must congratulate you on your forthcoming nuptials. Will you be having a summer wedding, or...?
Congratulate me? Do not congratulate me, Forman, for I am the unhappiest of men. It was but a day after our engagement was announced that my love became afflicted with the smallpox. Naturally, I was all a terror. Would she perish? So wretched was I with fear, I almost died of fright.
Aye, naturally. Smallpox is a most terrible disease. I intend to write a small treatise on the subject.
But then, alas! Fate struck the cruelest of blows upon my soul.
Oh, verily. Poor girl. May she rest in peace. Or re-squeeze in pace, as we Latin scholars say.
What? Nay, death would have been a mercy. For once cured, the maid arose from her sickbed bearing hideous scars. Her once fair cheeks, thus so cratered, do make the very moon wane with envy.
I see. And now you wish to extract yourself from your engagement, I presume.
Naturally. But her brother and father are fearsome men with a taste for rough sport, and her mother's tongue is as sharp as a barber's blade. I worry that my breach of promise may be taken ill.
Then let me see if I may fathom the family's reaction from the stars. What will become of breaking your engagement to this once fair, now pox-scarred maid?
You're a terrible person, Moore. But I suppose I already knew that. Maiden's father is being careless with his legacy. Indeed, it was most careless of him to betroth his daughter to such a mump-headed snatch-grabber. The maiden will bear the dissolution of her engagement with quiet grace. Moore has hope for regarding the young lady's forgiveness. It would be intelligent to seek resolution in a foreign country. Moore's breach of promise may result in the sudden change of fortune, his death. God's punishment is on the way, with Neptune and Mars bringing confusion and war. Okay. If he runs away, bad things happen. So let's just go for it.
Good tidings. While the family may well take your decision ill, good angels guide them toward restraint and discipline in their actions. The maid herself will endure it with quiet forbearance.
Quiet forbearance? By the saints, what a wondrous creature is she! Verily, I am disappointed that I must break off with her, for truly there is no mountain I would not climb, no trial I would not endure to wed a maid of so sweet a disposition. But I must be brave, and go at once to break the news to her.
You're so shallow. If you like a girl like that, just stay with you're terrible. Okay. Querent did wish to know what will happen when he breaks his engagement. I did reassure the Querent that he has nothing to fear from the maiden nor from her family. But thanks to Querent was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. How long will this wretched business take? I pray there be time to take in the play afterwards. You terrible, terrible person.
Archbishop Whitgift, glory to the Lord in the highest position in the church, except for the Queen. Glory to the Lord, Archbishop Whitgift.
New patient, what's up with you?
Ho there! Be there anyone at home?
Is it? By the saints, 'tis none other than Archbishop John Whitgift. Your Grace, I am most honoured by this most unexpected visit.
Truly, 'tis most unexpected, as I just so happened to be passing by. Indeed, I was riding by in my carriage when I found myself struck ill. My chaplain did suggest I take rest at the nearest residence, which did so happen to be this small dwelling. Forsooth, these rooms have the look of a physician's consulting chambers. Mayhap you are a doctor? If that be true, then praise be to God for this happy coincidence.
A most fortunate coincidence indeed. I am Simon Forman, a doctor of astrology and physic. At your service, your grace.
Well then, Dr. Dr. Forman, was it? Perchance you will tell me what ails me. I feel a kind of pain and heaviness in my side, and I know not if this be related, but my skin has of late become most unattractive in appearance.
Pain in the right side of the body and sallowness of the skin?
Her Majesty did remark upon it most wittily the other day at a meeting of the Privy Council. Your face does serve as a warning to us all, Archbishop.
Her Majesty the Queen, verily. A moment, if I may, your grace, while I consult the stars. What does cause the suffering of his grace, the most reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury?
If we can get this guy to support us, he can write us he could just give us a license. Sounds like something's wrong with his liver. Suffering from jaundice, condition characterized by choler sleeping into the skin when the tube connecting the gallbladder to the liver is blocked. Cardiac passion characterized by grievous pain in the heart and gnawing sensations throughout the body. No, it's jaundice, because jaundice is something's wrong with your liver, and it causes your skin to go yellow.
You are afflicted with jaundice, your grace. Yellow bile has seeped into your skin, causing it to become yellow-hued in appearance.
'Tis the jaundice, is it? I see.
Pray, have a servant boil this pouch of herbs in water. The liquor is to be injected up the fundament once each day. It should draw the choler away from your skin and into your bowels. William!
Excellent. I will have my chaplain see to it. My, who do we have here?
Before you take your leave, your grace, I would have my manservant William let blood from your right arm.
Indeed. Very well, then.
Before you depart, your grace, perchance I might trouble you with a request of my...
Good day, sir. My chaplain will settle payment with you anon.
Are you gonna assault my Poor William. Aquarius did present with symptoms of pain in his right side and yellow-colored skin. Did advise Aquarius that he was suffering from jaundice. For treatment, I prescribed bloodletting and an enema. He is most pleased. He's harassing my manservant. William Buck. I think he said his manservant's name was. I wonder how much Forman pays him. Ew.
What does it matter if errors he makes? Let others mend other things their six breaks. Our Lord has much to gain from the risks he takes. Commoners may pay, but nobles only learn from their mistakes.
He's back.
Good day, my lord, and well met. Indeed, methinks I have not seen your lordship since last year, afore you set off with Sir Walter Raleigh to capture those Spanish treasure ships.
Ah, yes. Doubtless you heard what became of that expedition. The town criers called it Raleigh and Essex's gold piracy fail, declaring it the biggest balls-up since the English Armada.
Aye, 'twas most ill-mannered of them, if I may remark.
'Tis all Raleigh's fault, of course. For when I revealed that I had gotten our navigational directions from you, he had our men turn the fleet around and sail in the opposite direction. 'Twas his navigation that got us lost. Our ships ended up becalmed in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, leaving England undefended. Who is the beef-headed chudlord now, eh, Raleigh?
Well, indeed.
Of course, Raleigh refuses to apologise, and we are no longer on speaking terms.
Alas, 'tis most lamentable you were unable to use the directions I gave you. Well now, how may I assist you this day?
I would have you tell me how I might regain the favour of the Queen. Indeed, 'tis strange she has not yet gotten over her displeasure, for the incident did occur many months ago. And we had every intention of returning her warships, filled to the brim with gold, I might add. Besides, how in the devil's name were we supposed to know the King of Spain would choose that very same month to invade England? I have not the power to predict the future.
Well, nay, but I have, my lord, if you had asked me to.
Verily, 'tis not to be borne. Only last week at a meeting of the Privy Council, during a minor disagreement regarding the Catholic rebellion in Ireland, she called me an impudent lord-splainer, whereupon she rose from her chair and molly-whopped me in the face. I half drew my sword upon her.
You mean the Queen?
Aye, indeed. Her behaviour was most shocking. I even asked the royal physician whether she may have lost her mind. She is, after all, most elderly. But Mr. Smith assures me she is in very fine health and is in full control of her faculties.
Her Majesty's behaviour is a mystery indeed, although mayhap it should not surprise us. A man's reason is oft insufficient to fathom the workings of the feminine mind, and, in such cases, he may have little choice but to call upon divine wisdom. To wit, let us see what the stars can tell us. What must Lord Devereaux do to regain the Queen's favour?
Devereaux should pretend to be in love with the Queen. Isn't she old? Devereaux's ambitions may be achieved if he is gentle. Devereaux may reverse his change in fortune by turning his working relation with the Queen into a sexual one. Don't you still have gonorrhea? Devereaux should not act in haste. He should make an intelligent suggestion to mount a military campaign in a foreign country. Devereaux should assume a position of authority in keeping with his birthright as peer of the realm. Devereaux must show the Queen he is a loyal man who does his duty. B sounds more promising.
To regain the Queen's favour, you must demonstrate your fealty to her, your loyalty as a peer of the realm who sits on her Privy Council. To this end, the stars suggest you offer to lead a military campaign to put down this Catholic rebellion in Ireland. Your lordship is, after all, a great military leader. What better man for such a task than the hero of Cadiz?
Verily, 'tis no ill idea. 'Tis no ill idea at all. Yes, indeed, I shall offer to put down the Irish for her. Forsooth, how difficult could such a mission be? I shall quickly defeat those fen-sucking muck-savages and be back home by Christmas. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
I don't think this works out well historically. Querent did wish to know what he could do to regain the Queen's favor. Did advise the Querent to offer to lead a military campaign to put down the Irish rebellion. Yeah! Thank you, Lord Devereaux. Irish are drunken, idiot drunkards, thus easy to vanquish. We English would not make jest about the Irish if this were not so. Yeah, I don't think it's going to turn out well.
Our hero Simon Forman's not a Catholic. He disapproves of Mary for her views. They make him sick. But Brady does not tell her lest she punch him in the punch him in the
I want to punch him in there, yeah. But
Good day, Mistress Payne. How may I help you this day?
Blessed day, Dr. Forman. I am just come from taking my niece to visit Rochester Cathedral. Thomas Blogg is the cathedral's dean, I believe. Know you of Dean Blogg?
Aye, I know something of him.
Verily, that man is a model to us all. Under his stewardship, the cathedral's decadent furnishings have been stripped away. He has even replaced the silver candlesticks with pewter. Such pious modesty in the sight of God.
Has he indeed? How very interesting. And, godly, yes. But what is it that brings you this day?
Before I begin upon my business, Dr. Forman, I must commend you for correctly predicting the sinking of the Spanish Armada.
Ah, yes. 'Twas I who did predict the great storm that sunk the Spanish ships, was it not? I have oft thought that careful study of coastal weather patterns may provide...
And we must give thanks to God for the divine vengeance he wrought upon the heretics. I did hear that by morning our beaches were verily littered with the corpses of Spanish sailors. Praise be to the Lord, his glory to behold.
Yes, praise be. But all the same, you seem anxious this day, Mistress Payne. What is troubling you?
Indeed, I am troubled, Dr. Forman. I fear for the Queen's health. Everyone is saying that as she is exceeding old, she is soon to die.
Ah, yes, I quite understand your feelings, madam. How we love our good Queen Bessie. Long may she reign. But will she? That is the question, is it not? For she cannot live forever, and when at last she does expire, we shall be stricken with such lamentation and grief.
Mayhap you, but not I. Elizabeth Tudor is naught but a sceptred whore, but still a whore who presides over the Church of England and keeps Rome at bay. And without an heir, who knows what manner of foreigner may succeed her when she dies? For all we know, he may flood the land with foul popery.
Foul popery? I take it you do not care for dried floral arrangements. But, madam, surely fresh flowers are more customary at royal funerals.
Did you not heed me, Mr. Forman? I wish to know whether the English throne is safe from a Catholic successor.
Ah, yes, of course. Then let us consult the stars. Is our Queen's long reign in danger of ending soon? And if so, do we risk a Catholic succeeding her to the throne?
I don't think so. I don't know history that well. Queen is in love. An unexpected pregnancy will bring new life to the Tudor world. I should have just had Raleigh sleep with her, I guess. The Queen's legacy is safe. Even if she dies, her successor will remain head of the Church of England and loyal to the Anglican faith. Cooperation offered by a foreign country is not what it seems. This doubtless represents England's ally, King James of Scotland. Bonds between nations will be creatively disrupted with violence, and austerity will be imposed as a result. I could just say she has a bloodline, or... I don't know history well. Did Queen Elizabeth I have a child? I'm gonna assume yes. Wait, bring new life. I think this one is safer though. I don't know history well enough to be confident in picking A.
The Queen's prognosis is good, madam. God will ensure she remains in health for some years yet. And when at last Her Majesty does expire, whomever succeeds her will happily take his place at the head of the Church of England. I may assure you that England will not revert its allegiance to the Church of Rome.
Ah, praise be! To know that England shall remain safe from Satan's earthly servants is well indeed. Fare you well, and may God give you a blessed day, Dr. Forman.
I thought Catholicism is like the oldest church or something. It's like the biggest branch. What do they have to go do with Satan? I thought they hated Satan too. I don't get it. Querent did wish to know whether England is soon to be ruled over by a Catholic king or queen. I did reassure the Querent that the queen remains in fine health and that her successor will not revert England to Catholicism. She was a little pleased. The weather is lovely this day. Mayhap I take my niece to the new cockpit in Vauxhall. She does so love to see the cocks. Cockfighting? Is that big in this time period?
Lancelot more, noble more blood, much of it lately spilled in the mud. Had some different choices been made, might Lancelot have been spared from the blade.
Did I screw up?
Good day, Mr. Moore. How fare you this fine Tuesday? Oh, on my word, you do not look well. Your face is very pale, and I detect a foul odour.
'Tis true I fare not well, but there is no reason to be rude about it, Forman.
Sir, I was merely expressing my concern. You appear stricken with fever, and, methinks, an infected wound.
Aye, I shall undo my breeches for you. There, do you see?
My, I do see. 'Tis a knife wound by the look of it.
The barber surgeon did stitch it up, but now it does ooze this noisome green stuff all over my fine linens. So, I came to you.
And you were very right to do so.
Aye, I was, because I think it only fair that you fix it. After all, this is all your fault, Forman.
My fault? Sir, I do not follow.
You told me I had nothing to fear from that wretched maiden's family when I broke off my engagement, but you were wrong.
Then I am most sorry for it. I gather the family did not take the news philosophically.
Verily, they did not. The maid herself wept, as is to be expected, but the father took it most violently. He called me an oath-breaking chudlord, whereupon he laid hands upon me and threw me out onto the street.
Indeed.
But 'twas not the end of it. For some weeks later, I was set upon by the maid's brother and his band of knaves. They left me for dead behind an alehouse. If I had not been discovered by the night watch, I might have died.
Sorry business indeed. I will have my manservant William clean your wound and apply a balm to it. But pray tell me more of your fever. How oft does it come?
Well, I did not have this fever yesterday, and I was well enough to go to church on Sunday. Oh, and to the theatre the day before. But Friday last, I was stricken abed with it.
Fever this day and Friday last. Now mayhap we consult the stars. What kind of fever has Lancelot Moore?
I mean, I chose this option because the other option said he was gonna die. Should I just let you die, Lancelot? Huh? All right, okay, he's not coming back. Where's Fortescue? I'm pretty sure I can help her. Okay, quotidian fever caused by putrefied phlegm occurs every day. It's not every day. Quartan fever caused by putrefied bile occurs every 4th day. Tertian fever caused by putrefied choler and occurs every 3rd day. Should be every 4th, right? Chronic but intermittent suggests addiction. It should be this one.
You're troubled with the quartan fever, a fever that comes every 4th day. It's caused by rotting bile. You must abstain from eating pork and any other meats that slow the digestion, and you must not bathe, but have a servant rub your back very vigorously every day until the fever abates.
Then what is it that you're mixing for me there? 'Tis true I am thirsty, but if you know wine, you might offer me instead.
'Tis an infusion of chamomile, mallow, mercury, and leaves of the black violet. William shall be administering it up the fundament. Pray lower your breeches, if you please.
Querent did present a suppurating wound which had occasioned a fever. Did diagnose the quartan fever. I am administered an enema and dispensed dietary advice. Thanks to Querent is most pleased with me for the reading I gave today. It is where I wore dark clothes today, for methinks I do begin to leak a little. Ew. Wait. Alright, Nicholas Mugg not received. I saw Ferraro's name, but I was like, didn't Mugg die also? Unfortunate that, but oh well. Master Archbishop. That sounds really good, actually. Lamb, beef, pork, and swan pie. Although, I don't know how swan pie would taste.
Good day and well met, Lord Archbishop. What a pleasure it is to welcome your grace once more to my humble consulting chambers. Do you ail of something, sir?
Nay, I am in good health. I am come for information. That is, I am come for an astrological reading concerning one of my deans, Thomas Blagg, the Dean of Rochester Cathedral. I hear you are acquainted with him, are you not?
Yes, so please your grace. I am honoured to say that Dean Blagg is one of my querents.
I see. What a remarkable coincidence. Then you may know that Dean Blagg has been petitioning me to promote him to the rank of bishop, specifically to grant him the vacant seat of the bishopric of Salisbury. I wonder if you, that is, if the stars and planets and so forth, might tell me if there be any reason why Thomas Blagg might not be a fitting candidate for such a position of responsibility.
I see. Then let us see what the stars can tell us. Should Thomas Blagg, Dean of Rochester, be made the Bishop of Salisbury?
Well, between this guy, you know, assaulting my manservant, and Blagg wasting money, everyone in this church is just terrible. Querent John Whitgift is not an honorable man. John Whitgift would be wise to cooperate with his employee, Dean Blagg. Blagg is a frugal manager of church funds. Dean Blagg has creatively and successfully stolen from the church. Financial deceit is being committed against the church. That's accurate, very accurate. Dean Blagg is on an emotional journey. What? Dean Blagg is questioning his religious principles. Blagg's heresy would be a shocking blow for the Archbishop. On one hand, Blagg is stealing and is apparently not you know what? Let's make Blagg a bishop.
Ah, the stars urge you to grant the bishopric to Thomas Blagg, your grace.
Oh, indeed.
Aye, for it seems that as Dean of Rochester Cathedral, he has proved himself to be a competent and frugal manager of church funds. Indeed, I have heard he furnishes the cathedral very sparsely. So concerned is he not to waste the church's money.
A competent manager, you say? Very good, very good. Then I suppose I shall grant Dean Blagg the bishopric.
Before you leave, your grace, perchance I may broach a small matter of my own. Methinks you have the power to grant medical licenses, do you not? Although I am an experienced physician, you may have heard of my work during the plague of 1592, for instance, I am not technically licensed to practice medicine. It has been causing some administrative troubles of late. I wonder if your grace might condescend to help me by...
You would have me grant you a medical license, would you? I suppose that might be arranged. Leave it with me, and I will have my chaplain look into it.
I thank you heartily, your grace. Your grace is most generous.
We're not going to tell him that... Oh, we shouldn't have gone this route. Because he can't be trusted. Querent did wish to know whether there should be any reason why he should not make Thomas Blagg the Bishop of Salisbury. I did advise the Querent to grant Thomas Blagg the bishopric. This might come to bite us in the rear in the future. Blagg is a dull fellow, but does such mediocrity not perfectly qualify him for a high position in the English establishment?
Alice Blagg is on the make, may have even on the take. Could it be for her family's sake? Seriously give her a break.
I got your husband promoted.
God give you good day, Mistress Blagg. Pray tell, what brings you?
I would know whether my lover, Owen Wood, is resolved to leave me something in his will. A small legacy, mayhap. A large one. I do hope he intends to leave me something.
Owen Wood? He is the Dean of Armagh, is he not? Was not your interest directed toward the Bishop of London?
Aye, but your counsel for wooing him served me most ill. When the bishop came to visit the archbishop in Lambeth, I smiled and nodded and kept my knees together like you advised, but 'twas all for naught. The archbishop's wife thought I was taken ill and sent me to bed directly after dinner.
Forsooth, I am sorry to hear it, though mayhap it was for the best. Now, perchance we may proceed to this matter concerning Owen Wood. Pray tell, why would you wish to know whether he has included you in his will? Is he gravely ill?
Not presently, but methinks he will be soon. For he has gone to Ireland to join that peacocking mumphead, the Earl of Essex.
Oh. I see. He has gone to fight in Lord Devereaux's military campaign to put down the Catholic rebels in Ireland. But you're being a little harsh, are you not? 'Tis true he has had some bad luck of late, but the Earl is a fine...
Oh, a swole-headed failson is what his lordship is. 'Twould not surprise me if he read his map upside down and marched his men into a bog to drown. Pray, let us do my reading, if you please.
Certainly. If Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, were to die, would Alice Blagg inherit anything from his estate?
Well, I messed up previously. Kinda had a feeling it would, but oh well. Dean Wood's time in Ireland will be gentle. Owen Wood has frittered away his fortune. Let's look at B first. Good angels will compel Owen Wood to be faithful to his wife. This doesn't seem good at all. The romance between Alice Blagg and Owen Wood is marred with conflict and deceit. Owen Wood could not resist being charitable to his lover Alice. She is due to receive a legacy from Wood upon his death, much to the surprise and chagrin of Mistress Wood. Owen Wood is keeping a secret to be revealed upon his death. Okay, there's deceit and stuff everywhere, but he might not die at any... Sure, Alice, let's...
You are indeed mentioned in Dean Wood's will. Unbeknownst to his wife, he plans to leave you a portion of his fortune. Forsooth, that is what the stars do tell, but if I might offer you my own counsel...
Oh, what an angel of a man! Did I not know it? Dearest Owen, I shall raise a toast to him at the Quiet Bear this even.
Quern did wish to know whether her lover Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, had included her in his will. I did advise the Quern that Owen Wood had indeed included her in his will. Okay. This night I will sleep soundly, mayhap for the first time since I learned that Blagg has ruined us. Welcome back, Blagg. It's been a while.
Good dawning, D. Blagg. How may I do you service this day?
I hope you will do me service, Dr. Forman. For at my last consultation, you served me very ill.
Ah.
Indeed. Your prediction that Raleigh and Essex would succeed in capturing those Spanish treasure ships did put me in a most lamentable position. I had my tailor fashion me these fine new robes, and now I have not the money to pay him for it.
Then I'm heartily sorry for it, sir. Though your new robes are indeed very fine. Is that a different shade of black, or...?
And I know not how, but my wife Alice has lately learned of our perilous financial situation.
Ah, has she?
Aye, and she has had me petition the Archbishop for a promotion. 'Tis her reckoning that if I were promoted to bishop, the increased living would enable me to settle our debts.
That would seem wise under the circumstances. And was your petition successful?
It was. At least at first. Indeed, His Grace did have me believe he is minded to make me Bishop of Salisbury.
The bishopric of Salisbury? But that is excellent well, is it not?
It would be very well, forsooth. But many months have passed, and the Archbishop gives yet no sign of granting the vacant bishopric to anybody.
I see. And he does not say when the matter may be decided?
Nay, indeed he does not. Whenever I raise the question with His Grace, he says he needs time to consider the various episcopal and doctrinal matters concerning such an appointment. All the while, he has me performing additional duties that I dare not refuse, lest I lose his favour. And Mistress Blagg has sent him pies upon numerous occasions.
And yet the Archbishop is not moved? Oh, he must be a very hard man indeed, for your wife's pies are well renowned for their powers of persuasion. Now, let us see what the stars can tell us. Will Thomas Blagg, Dean of Rochester, be granted the bishopric of Salisbury?
I messed up your life. Whoops. Although you kind of messed it up yourself, too. Blagg's relationship with the Archbishop will remain amicable. Blagg's professional ambitions will be realized if he exercises patience. Blagg has demonstrated his godliness. A deception concerning the death of goods has been uncovered. Oh, he's looking into Blagg and his money things. Blagg is advised to travel with his wife. God will help Blagg succeed by radically transforming the Archbishop's opinion of Blagg's intelligence. Thus, raised in the Archbishop's esteem, Blagg will be granted the bishopric, which comes with a considerable increase in... Sure, you can leave.
Pack up your trunks and ready your horses, Dean Blagg. For the stars advise you and your wife to make holiday. Maybe a hunting tour of Essex? In any case, you may celebrate, as you are to be made Bishop of Salisbury, and your fortune is soon to be restored. God himself has seen fit to reward your loyal service to the Church.
He has? Blessed day! O Heavenly Father, I give thanks unto thee that thou hast bestowed upon thy servant such honour and such a considerable increase in yearly income.
Okay, Quart did wish to know if he will be granted the bishopric of Salisbury. I did advise the Quart that he would be granted the bishopric. Okay. Once I have the gold, I shall buy back all the cathedral silver candlesticks that I saw. Just run away and never come back.
Lancelot more awestruck by the muse, for his sonnets found there be no excuse. Many do strike him a chain, and for his verse they damn him to hell.
I want to strike him.
Ah, good morrow, Mr. Moore. How fare you this day?
Forsooth, I fare very well, for I have become acquainted with the most wondrous of creatures, a lady who has lately been widowed.
Ah, let me just take some notes here. Is this one dark or fair? Auburn with eyes of green, mayhap? I do not believe there's yet been an auburn-haired maid.
Fie, Mr. Forman. Prithee show more respect for ladies than to view them as mere collections of physical charms. Beauty alone is of nothing to a man such as I. Nay, my heart does belong to a worldly woman of culture and learning, her head almost as striking as the soft hair and radiant eyes that adorn it. Indeed, her gift of understanding is so strong she can listen to my sonnets for hours on end.
She can she? Forsooth, the lady does show great strength of mind indeed. And how might I advise you?
I would have you tell me whether I should marry her, for, as you know, I have offered my troth to ladies in the past, and it has not ended well for me. So, this time I did tell myself, Lancelot, you will proceed with caution. You will know the lady for at least a month before you think of wedding her, and then you'll go directly to Forman for his counsel.
Then let us consult the stars now. Should Lancelot Moore marry this wondrous and worldly widow?
A month? Really? A match would provoke an unexpected death resulting in an inheritance. Moore is allowing his emotions to rule his finances, putting them at risk by acting impatiently. Deceitful hidden motives are at play. Is it Emma? It sounds like Emma. The stars suggest I have cruel intentions towards my querent Lancelot Moore. The widow is an intelligent woman who aspires to greatness through her relationships. God favors the marriage it would make a man. I think he's talking about... It sounded very suspicious. It's Emma, isn't it? She gonna kill him.
You must not marry this lady, sir. You are a wealthy man, and she has designs upon your fortune that may result in your untimely death.
Ye gods! Verily?
I am afeard so. You must take care not to let your emotions lead you astray.
She seems so. She told me she... Are you sure? You did not put a planet in the wrong house or whatnot?
Aye, quite sure.
Oh, well indeed, 'tis most lamentable. Oh, what a waste of such fine eyes. Mayhap Emma has a sister.
I knew it was Emma. I saved your life. I shall say I respect her too much to bind her within the shackles of marriage. Mayhap then she will let me lie with her. She not. She just care about your money.
Sybil's not blessed, for when she tries her best, 'tis then she does her worst. From being overdressed to poisoning her guests. Ambition,
Welcome back, Mistress Fortescue.
Good day, Mistress Fortescue.
I do hope you may help me, Dr. Forman, for I am mightily afflicted with fever and pain.
Yes, I see. Your face is a trifle red in colour. When did your troubles begin? At a dinner party, perchance?
Nay, 'twas at a luncheon, the one I gave this day. I sought to play a trick upon my friend, Lady Emma Dyer, and I worry God is punishing me for my japery.
And what manner of jape did you play on your friend at this luncheon of yours? Pray, describe the ruse to me.
Well, I came upon the idea when I took receipt of a trunk full of exotic goods from the New World. Lovely gifts sent home to me by my gallant husband. Knew you of my husband, Captain Henry Fortescue? He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh, of course.
I think you have mentioned him once or twice, madam.
The trunk contained a parcel of dried fruits, full red in colour they were, and with them a note of warning. On it was writ that these fruits, if not consumed in moderation, can provoke a hot, pricking fever when ingested.
Ah, yes. I have read of this fruit in the writings of Spanish explorers. Capsicum Icaramba mequema is the botanical name, I believe.
I am well known for serving the most original dishes at my table. Hence my guests were not surprised when I invited them to try my exotic fruit. I served them each a sweet pie containing one of these, capsicum...
Icaramba mequema.
But I made sure Emma received a pie containing the very largest fruit, and I the very smallest one.
I see. You hoped to occasion a fever in your friend while escaping the same fate yourself. And yet this ruse did not succeed, I take it.
Nay, it did not, Dr. Forman. Most of my guests dared only take one bite of their pies before abandoning them, finding themselves unequal to the challenge. But Emma ate hers all up, as did I. I was sure I would be safe, and that she would turn red and begin to perspire most shamefully, but she remained as cool as a cucumber. But
you, madam?
But I began to feel such pain in my mouth and throat. My face and eyes turned red. Moisture gathered on my brow and bosom, and damp marks appeared on my bodice. I could not conceal it from my guests. 'Twas humiliating.
How distressing for you, madam. Let us now seek a solution to this mystery in the stars. What might explain the querent's affliction?
Oh, capsicum, as in capsation, hot peppers. That makes sense, considering tiny peppers are spicier than larger peppers. Lusty passions, condition that can occasion bodily heat and blushing on the face. Bewitched. Quinsy. What? No. It might just be Quinsy. Or it could just be witchcraft, apparently. No, Quinsy doesn't sound that serious.
One moment, madam, while I consult that Spanish book I mentioned earlier. The one recounting travels in the New World. Ah, yes, that is it.
What is interesting, Dr. Forman?
The stars say you have quinsy, and this book confirms my suspicions as to what provoked it. Madam, 'tis not the larger fruits that occasion pain when consumed. 'Tis the small ones, such as the one you had baked into the pie for yourself.
You mean to say the smaller fruits are more dangerous than the larger ones? How strange! Verily, how topsy-turvy!
The pain will be gone by the morrow, but in the meantime you may find relief by washing your mouth out with wine.
Burgundy wine? Or will an ordinary claret suffice?
Any wine will do, madam. God give ye good even, Mistress Fortescue.
Querent did present with symptoms of fever and pain that began during a luncheon she hosted. I did diagnose quinsy, provoked by the consumption of a small yet dangerous New World fruit. Oh, hey. Thank you, ma'am. I should not like to be seen drinking cheap claret before dinner. I think I will have a cook open a bottle of Burgundy.
Humphrey Bell, who is this comely youth? Mayhap a little shy, but pleasing to the eye. His eyes, his hair, his shape, his form, forsooth, has he a sweetheart? Pray tell us the truth.
Well, he is designed rather pleasing to the eye, yes. Fancy young man.
Good morrow, young sir. Methinks this is your first consultation, Mr.
Humphrey Bell, sir.
And how may I do you service this day, Mr. Bell?
I want to get lean in that.
You wish to become lean, you say? And why would you need to be any leaner than you are now? You do not appear at all overplump. Indeed, you appear to be a young man in the full vigour of health.
Yay, but I do the lady parts though, innit?
You do the lady parts. Oh, I see. You are a player who plays feminine roles upon the stage. Yes, I think I recognise you now. You play for Lord Chamberlain's men, do you not? The company of players led by Will Shakespeare, Richard Burbage and Will Kemp, among others.
Aye, sir. I play for them as a hired man, and next month I'm to play a fairy queen in a play we're doing for Lord Hunston at his daughter's wedding. But bossman Burbage says I'm too plump for the role.
Humphrey, your girth does make it difficult for an audience to imagine you getting up out of your fairy throne, let alone flying.
Yes, I think I understand. 'Twould imperil the audience's suspension of disbelief, thus breaking the fourth wall, as you players so call it.
Ah, sir, indeed. Mr. Burbage worries much for them scenery walls, for he says my rear end is of such a size 'tis liable to smash right through 'em. Anyways, Mistress Burbage told me that to fit into her gowns she bids herself chunder after eating. Might you give me some herbs for that or something?
And Mistress Burbage would be Richard Burbage's wife, I presume. Well, to judge what would be most effective in your case, I shall need to consult the stars. What should Mr. Humphrey Bell do to become leaner?
Do Forcing yourself to puke after meals is not healthy. Okay. Humphrey may provoke downward purging from his fundament by inducing an imbalance of phlegm. Okay, so laxatives. Humphrey may induce upward purging from his stomach by consuming Canis sicco excrementum to induce imbalance of choler. So, self-poisoning to throw up. Humphrey's condition has been provoked by chronic overconsumption of food. He must commit to underconsumption of food if he hopes to become leaner. Okay, these are all unhealthy, but okay, starve himself, puke everything up, or poop everything out. Vomiting would probably ruin his complexion. Starving just sounds bad, so I guess it's laxatives it is.
A course of upward purging could injure your voice, and, well, as you are a player, methinks you must purge downwards instead.
Downwards? You mean
Out your fundament, yes. I advise you to purchase a goodly quantity of rhubarb and prunes, and have an apothecary furnish you with some water of tamarind. Ingest as much of these as you can at regular intervals, and you will soon be purging most mightily. You should be leaner within a week or two.
Zah! I shall purge myself lean and be the best fairy Mr. Burbage has ever seen.
That doesn't sound healthy either. I could have just told you to starve yourself. That seems cruel. Quarant sought assistance to become leaner in order to play the role of a fairy queen in one of Mr. Shakespeare's plays. Sounds like Midsummer's Night Dream. Did prescribe the Quarant dietary elements that would induce downward purging. Mr. Shakespeare spoke true about Dr. Forman. His doctoring is banging. This patient has quite the interesting accent. It's quite thick.
Favored is Essex and close to the crown. Nobles like him do fare more than down. His family's too grand to jail, too rich to jail. But if Essex disobeys the Queen, she'll put him in the ground.
Oh, did it not work out? I should have just had him sleep with the Queen or something.
Good day, my lord. I must own, your lordship's visit to my chambers does surprise me, for I'd believed, well, indeed all of England believes, that you are in Ireland at present.
Did anyone see me? No? Good. Now, bid your manservant close the shutters.
As your lordship pleases. William! William! Pray close the shutters. Yes, all of them. And fetch us some candles.
I pray the counsel you give me this day be wise, sirrah, for I find myself in the most desperate of predicaments.
And the last advice I gave you? That of offering to lead a military campaign to put down the Irish rebellion? I trust it worked to win back the Queen's favour. Indeed, the parade given to send you off was most impressive. I was there. Did you see me? I did wave at you. Nay, I do not imagine you would have seen me. So great were the crowds.
Yes, my offer to lead the campaign was well received by the Queen. But there was a fatal flaw in your advice.
Oh, and this flaw was?
Is it not obvious? I had to verily go to that midge-ridden bog-hole and try to put down the Irish. God's breath! Have you seen the Irish? They are savages. That Irish chieftain O'Neill and his band of fen-born brutes are especially bad.
Forsooth, they sound most fearsome. 'Tis a mercy you escaped with your life, and are now back home safe in England.
Nay, I am not yet safe in England, I fear. For when the Queen finds out that I made a truce with O'Neill, heaven only knows how ill she will take it. Even my leaving Ireland without her permission will doubtless vex her.
Then the Queen has not been informed of your return?
Nay, she knows yet nothing of it. I am at present taking refuge with my sister, the Countess of Devonshire, at her country estate. But I cannot hide there forever. Hence I am come to you this day so that the stars may advise me on how I may extract myself from my current predicament and win back the favour of the Queen.
Then let us see what the stars advise. How might Lord Devereaux escape the displeasure of Her Majesty the Queen and regain her favour?
Wait, I do have a letter from... Yes, I do. Okay. Oh, I have half the letters I need. Nice, okay. What do you need to do? God will help Devereaux if he appeals to the Queen's vanity and exercises patience. Devereaux may revive his hopes for a brilliant career. All is not lost. Devereaux must use his best asset to ward off the Queen's anger, his magnificent body. Okay, so I am trying to hook them up. Devereaux must contrive a way to make the Queen see his disobedience within the context of their personal relationship rather than act of disloyalty to the crown. Devereaux imperils his legacy with his tendency towards confused optimism. Devereaux risks being subject to violence of the law. Devereaux may reverse the political situation back to his advantage by having the Queen look upon him as the son she never had. Intelligence, rebellion, confusion, and optimism. Violence. This seems... B seems a bit risky. I might as well just get him to bed the Queen at this rate.
Your lordship must not give up hope, for though our Queen may have the stomach and heart of a king, she has but the body and mind of a weak and feeble woman. Hence the stars suggest you use your manly physical attributes to resolve this affair.
I see. Use my imposing presence and masculine intelligence to overpower her. Show her who is truly sovereign.
Nay, my lord. Quite the reverse. You must appeal to her vanity and captivate her with your bodily charms. Perchance a tighter-fitting doublet would serve to...
God's yardle! You would have me bed the Queen? Doubtless you have never seen Her Majesty at close quarters, Forman. Elizabeth may be in fine health for an old woman, but she is more advanced in years than my own mother.
I am afeard the stars are most clear on this, my lord.
I see. But how am I to find a moment alone with her? If I make an entrance at court whilst Her Majesty is surrounded by guards and courtiers, I may be arrested on the spot.
Aye, 'twould be most perilous. Hold, I think I have it. My lord, if you were able to insinuate yourself into Whitehall Palace one morning before Her Majesty rises, you could approach the Queen while she is still alone in her bedchamber.
By the saints, 'tis no ill idea. I shall prepare to mount a surprise attack upon the Queen's defences. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my Lord Devereaux.
I should have just gone with the other option, but I have his letter of rec. Goodbye, Lord Devereaux. Querent did wish to know how he might regain the Queen's favour, following his failure to put down the Irish rebellion. I did advise the Querent to mollify the Queen by surprising her one morning in her bedchamber. Goodbye. I will not be sorry to leave my sister Penelope's house. Fie upon her. I shall eat as many cherries as I damned well please. You're a grown man. A grown lord. Why are you obsessed about cherries? Goodbye. I don't like these church people.
Good day, your grace, and well met. Might I inquire whether your grace has made a decision regarding whether to give Thomas Blagg the bishopric of Salisbury?
Ah, yes, Dean Blagg. I had my chaplain look into what you told me regarding my dean's stewardship of Rochester Cathedral. Methinks you said he was a skilled and competent manager. Did you not? Well, it seems that that could not be further from the truth. For not only has Dean Blagg been embezzling coin from the cathedral's accounts, many items of furniture have gone missing.
Oh, indeed?
Of course, I will make nothing of it, as I wish to avoid the scandal. I merely told Dean Blagg that I could not offer him the bishopric due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Of course. And what problem would your grace wish me to address this day?
Oh, 'tis a problem with my other deans. With each passing day there seems to be a new dean at the palace gates, come to petition me for this wretched bishopric of Salisbury. Presently, 'tis Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh. Since he returned from Ireland, he talks of nothing else.
How tiresome for your grace.
Indeed. I have told Owen that I am giving his request careful consideration, but in my experience, this only delays a dean for so long. I do have to grant the occasional bishopric, or else my deans become restless.
Doubtless, your grace.
But after what I learned about Dean Blagg, I must take care to exercise caution. Hence, I would have you tell me anything you know, that is, anything the stars reveal, about Owen Wood, that would render him unsuitable to perform the role of bishop.
Then let us ask the stars. Is there any reason why the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, should not grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury?
I should have just told him about Dean Blagg stealing from the church. Oh well. While Owen is uncertain about whether he will be offered the bishopric of Salisbury, he remains optimistic. John Whitgift should bring Owen Wood's dream of being a bishop to life. John Whitgift is impossible to please. Owen Wood is a vain but patient man who has God on his side. Wow. When it comes to his relationships with women, Owen Wood has a creative interpretation of the teachings of the Bible on the sin of adultery. Owen Wood has betrayed his wife. Yes, with Blagg's wife. An unexpected problem may arise concerning Owen Wood and some unborn children. Ooh.
I must advise against granting Owen Wood the bishopric, for the stars reveal that he has sinned most grievously.
Ah, verily? Grievously, you say?
I am afeard Dean Wood did commit the sin of adultery.
Ah, nothing else?
'Twas more than once, your grace.
Doubtless, doubtless. While I appreciate your most excellent discernment of this information from the stars, I must own that Dean Wood's extra-clerical activities are already well known to me. Why, even my own wife has had a tumble with the man.
Your grace, I am sorry.
Hold, Sarah. In truth, 'tis of no consequence to me. What occurs in Lambeth Palace bides in Lambeth Palace, as we like to say. But you are right to remind me of Dean Wood's indiscretions. For mayhap it be not wise to elevate Owen to such a public position as bishop. I do have the reputation of the church to consider.
Indeed, your grace.
I will tell Owen that while I had every intention of granting him the bishopric, my hands are now tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Very wise, your grace. And one more matter, if I may. Has your grace yet had the opportunity to consider the granting of my medical license?
Ah, yes, that. Once my chaplain has finished looking into the matter, I shall be giving it careful consideration. Good day.
Okay. He wished to know whether we should grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury, and I advised against it. Shame to disappoint Owen, but the church cannot tolerate scandal of this nature. We are not in the Catholic Church of Rome. Says the guy who keeps assaulting my manservant. Okay, we're gonna take a short break here because I ran out of water, but I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm back with more water. Let's move on to our next patient now.
Since blind left Alice in the lurch, for solution she does search. 'Tis true she's the wedded half the church, but blind left Alice in the lurch.
Half the church? Wow. That's kind of impressive, if not still terrible of her.
Good day, mistress. What brings you?
I am come about my lover who is lately returned from Ireland.
Ah, yea, and your current lover is, as I recall... Ah, yes, your lover at present is Owen Wood, the Reverend Dean of Armagh, is it not?
Aye.
And according to my notes, you were afeard he might die in battle, and yet you do not appear to be much pleased he's returned alive. Whatever is the matter, madam?
It is being said around the diocese that my lover, Owen Wood, is romantically entangled with 2 other women.
And who might these 2 other women be? Might one of them be his wife, or...?
Of course not. Do not jape with me, Forman. I did hear that one of the ladies Owen is seeing is Mistress Ways, while the other is a certain Anne Hayborn, with whom I am not yet acquainted. I do hear she is a very young and comely maiden, though mayhap a maiden no longer. I prithee, scribble one of those doodles of yours and tell me if this be true.
Madam, if you will but afford me some silence and calm, I will compose one of my doodles, as you so call my mathematically precise astronomical charts, and endeavour to answer your question. To wit, is Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, wooing other women?
What we learned from the Archbishop? Yes, he is. Owen Wood is deceiving Alice and wooing other women, but Alice may be optimistic for his relationships with these women are marred by discord. Owen Wood, to everyone's great surprise, will abandon his wench-chasing ways. If he wants to bishop, probably. Okay. Owen Wood is conducting numerous romantic affairs. He aspires to bed sweet, gentle ladies. His time in Ireland has given him occasion to reflect intelligently upon the current state of his financial affairs. He has decided to curtail his profligate spending. God is gracing Owen with maturity. I mean, if he wants the bishopric, then I guess... he will abandon it, but it's not going to be good for Alice. Nah, realistically, he's just going to keep going.
Alas, I am afeard your suspicions are well founded, madam. For the stars do indicate that Dean Wood has been paying court to several other ladies.
Fie! What a maid-fiddling maggot of a man is he! Be I not woman enough for him?
Well, indeed. My chart does seem to suggest that if he does seek intimacies further afield, 'tis owing to...
Pray, go on. 'Tis owing to what?
To a preference for sweet and gentle companionship of a more feminine nature.
Does he indeed? How very interesting. Nay, verily, fie upon Owen Wood. On my honour, he will very likely want some sweet and gentle treatment once I am finished with him.
Godspeed, Mistress Blagg.
Okay, I did confirm the Aquarius fears, informing her that Owen Wood was romantically involved with other ladies. Oh, she didn't like that at all. I shall call him a snatch-grabbing dog bother of the lowest order, and a horse-fluffing whoreson if there be ink for it.
God give you good evening, Your Grace. I trust you were pleased with the previous counsel I gave you? The advice I gave against granting Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury.
Ah, yes. Your counsel did indeed prove sound, for Dean Wood is now cods deep in scandal. The parish council has received numerous paternity suits, and 'tis said that scores of defiled wenches bethrong the gates of his deanery each morning, clutching suckling babes and demanding recourse. As for young Anne Hayborn, she has had her reputation ruined, and Dean Ways is barely speaking to his wife anymore.
On my word, how disgraceful.
Aye, indeed. If only Owen had the sense to exercise more discretion.
Yes, indeed, Your Grace.
The Bishop of London, for instance, manages his affairs very quietly. I might have been able to look the other way, but in this instance I could not let Owen's indiscretions pass. For a wretched local woman by the name of Mary Payne got wind of the scandal and stirred up a public fuss about it.
Of course she did.
Oh, the devil take the woman and her bacon-faced husband.
If I might venture an opinion, Your Grace, mayhap if we were to pay no heed to Mary Payne and her ilk, they would eventually tire of their animus and leave us all be. But is it upon such problems you come this day, or upon some other matter?
I am come about my health. I believe I do ail of something.
Then pray, describe your complaints to me, Your Grace.
Well, I am afflicted with pain in my back, and at times I find myself hard of breathing. Indeed, I feel I may have phlegm in my chest, and I do bear these odd-looking spots upon my body that will not mend.
If you will permit me to loosen your robes to examine you. I see. Methinks I have a notion of what ails you. Let me confirm it with a reading of the stars. What troubles Archbishop Whitgift?
I don't quite know. Mattering in the breast causes chest pain, which is occasioned by corrupt phlegm having gathered in the chest. Knobs on the yard, disease often associated with lechery and characterized by wart-like growths on the privy member. No. French pox, a venereal disease occasioned by lying with a pocky person. It is characterized by persistent sores on the arms and legs, short-windedness, and bodily aches. It might be the French pox. Never heard of it before, but it seems to fit.
Your Grace, I know not how to put this delicately. You have the French pox. I am not sure how this is possible, as you're a man of the cloth. Indeed, mayhap I check the stars again.
No need. I did suspect as much.
Verily? How astute of you. The French pox can oft be difficult to cure, but in your case, it is not far advanced. This ointment of boar grease and mercury is to be applied to your entire body. It must be rubbed in vigorously to ensure the mercury is well absorbed into the skin. You may then expect to see the sores on your body start to heal within a matter of days.
I see. And, I imagine your manservant William will be giving me this treatment?
No, Your Grace. The grease is to be taken home with you and applied each night before bed for 9 days. Mayhap your chaplain could apply it to your Grace's body.
Ah, yes, a fine idea. I thank you for this treatment, sir. Fare you well, Dr. Forman.
Before you leave, Your Grace, might I inquire again as to the possibility of you granting me a medical license? Your Grace did mention you would give it careful consideration.
Ah, yes, indeed I did I not? Have no fear, Dr. Forman. My chaplain is looking into it. Good day.
Yeah, we're never getting it from this guy unless we help him a lot. And please stop asking about my servant. Backache, short-windedness, odd-looking spots, diagnosed of French pox, and prescribed bloodletting and an application of boar fat and mercury ointment to the querent's body. Mercury again. Mercury is toxic, by the way. Oh, cool. We might get a letter of rec, if not the medical license from this man. I do believe this doctor and I are beginning to develop something of an understanding. Yeah.
Here comes Lord Devereaux, ready to fight. Wild-eyed and restless, he's been up all night. He may not know much, but he knows that he's right.
That's a fun way to describe him.
Give ye good morrow, my lord. I trust your lordship is well this...
Well? God's body! Am I likely to be well? I have been languishing under lock and key while all England goes to ruin.
Yes. I did hear something of your arrest. I take it your encounter with the Queen did not go as well as planned.
Of course it did not. Her Majesty the Queen of England awakening to find a man hovering over her bed like a grinning fool, clutching a bunch of flowers in one hand and a box of sweetmeats in the other? God's death! What is in you? What did you think would come of me sneaking into the Queen's bedchamber?
But you were imprisoned in your York House residence, were you not? The fact that you were placed under house arrest and not imprisoned in the Tower surely speaks to the Queen's fondness for you. I trust your time in confinement was not uncomfortable, at least.
Well, yes, my time away from the world and its trifling concerns did, in truth, prove useful. It afforded me time to reflect on larger questions, to take stock of my life and put recent events in perspective.
I see. And what resolution did this quiet period of sober reflection bring you? A closer relationship with God? Or perchance you are resolved to spend more time with your family?
What? Nay. I said my mind was turned to larger questions. To wit, am I destined for greater things? Am I chosen by God to rule a kingdom? For I must needs act. The realm is under threat from within. For why was I verily imprisoned? Was it merely to punish me for some trifling mistakes I made in Ireland? Nay, 'twas to separate me from the Queen.
Well, I imagine after discovering you in Her Majesty's bedchamber...
Do you not yet see? The Privy Council means to keep me away from Whitehall, lest I see how they have contrived to control and manipulate the Queen since I left for Ireland.
My lord! Are you saying the Queen is weak and no longer in control of her reign?
Aye, indeed. Something must be done about it. Well, man, do not just stand there.
Yes, of course, my lord. Let us see whether the stars may give you your answer. Is Robert Lord Devereaux, Earl of Essex, destined to, rule England?
I don't know my history. Strong authority figure. Queen's failure to produce an heir will have violent consequences. Devereaux should use his substantial wealth to cleverly ensure cooperation with his plans. In short, he should engage in bribery. I'm pretty sure he could just take over if he wanted. He suffers from geopolitical ignorance. A foreign sovereign is destined to rule England. No. No, it's not. Devereaux is deluded about his legacy. If he does not rein in his ambitions, he will die. Devereaux would do well to limit the influence of his friend's advice upon him. He's secretly motivated by his feelings about the Queen and how he has been treated by her. Nah, he can totally ride his way to the throne.
Confirm your fears, my lord. Her Majesty's failure to provide an heir has created the conditions for much plotting and scheming, and her refusal thus far to name a successor has provided an opportunity for powerful forces who would seek to gain control of the throne. Indeed, the realm is in grave danger, and the stars suggest that you are a strong, wise leader, chosen by God to lead England, mayhap as Lord Protector of the realm?
By God's underlumps, 'tis true. Huzzah!
As to practical matters, the stars suggest you use your significant wealth to, ensure cooperation and procure the influence you will need to secure success in this endeavour.
Then I will rally my forces and make the necessary preparations. For England, for God, Queen, and country. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Was Queen Elizabeth succeeded by King Robert? I don't know. Querent wished to know whether he was destined to rule England. I did advise the Querent he was indeed destined to be a great and wise ruler, and that he should use his wealth to ensure cooperation in this endeavor. My claim to the throne may not be as strong as the Stuarts, or the Lennoxes, the Greys, or the Yorks, but a pox on all their houses, God has chosen me.
Good day, Dean Blagg. How now, good sir? I see you do ail of something.
I do ail of something, Forman. Forsooth, I fear I am very ill indeed. For I tremble day and night with fever, and my face does itch and prick with pain.
Verily, you do exhibit upon your nose and cheeks a rash of a most remarkable hue.
Before you do this reading for me, Forman, I must have your word that you will not speak of this to my wife, Alice. In truth, I have had her believe that I was set upon by an angry swarm of wasps that have lately been nesting in the north transept of the cathedral.
I do understand. A kind husband would naturally wish to shield his wife from any undue distress.
Ah, yea, that of course. And there be also the small matter of the promise I did make to restore the Blagg family fortune before I died, and thus not leave my wife and children to live in penury when I am gone. If Mistress Blagg were to think that I am gravely ill, it would provoke some awkwardness between us that I would rather wish to avoid.
Ah, I take it then that your finances are also in poor health.
Forsooth they are. And had you warned me that the Archbishop would never grant me the bishopric of Salisbury, perchance I may have acted sooner to recover them.
I see. Well, as to your wife, Alice, be not afeard, sir. We doctors take querent confidentiality most seriously. As Hippocrates did say, testa Apollinum medicum secreta. among other things. Now, mayhap we proceed to consult the stars on the matter of your condition. With what disease is my querent Thomas Blagg troubled, and how may he be cured?
You're gonna die. Red nose, cheeks, and much bodily pain. Erysipelas, severe skin disease of the face that is accompanied by pain and fever. Evil digestion, no. Bone shot. Are you serious?
It would seem you are troubled with a severe disease of the skin known as erysipelas. It is quite serious, though you may find some temporary relief from the pain and fever by vigorously purging from your fundament. To induce such a thing, I do advise the consumption of a considerable quantity of prunes, or mayhap rhubarb. Of course, it does depend on the season.
Erysipelas? Prunes? Oh, merciful Lord, if it be thy will that I should die, and if thou hast writ these mortal signs upon the stars, I beseech thee, have thy servant Simon Forman speak the truth.
Prithee, sir, I had not finished. Oh, my dear friend, I will not lie to you. Your condition is quite advanced. In truth, I fear you must prepare for the worst. If you will not share this grave news with Mistress Blagg, perchance you might speak to her from the safety of, from beyond the grave? That is to say, write her a letter that may be read to her after you're gone. Your loving words, though thus delayed, may provide her comfort in her time of grief and destitution.
God bless you for your candour, sir, as well your wisdom and friendship these last years. I will now go and pray upon what you have told me.
Goodbye. Querent did present with a rash on his nose and cheeks and much bodily pain, wishing to know both its nature and its curse. I did diagnose a severe case of erysipelas and advised the Querent that he may die. I advised him to write a letter for his wife to read upon his death. Ah, so close. Goodbye, Dean Blagg. You were a terrible person who made poor monetary financial decisions. May the Lord God absolve me of my sins, for I fear my wife Alice will not. Just 5 points away from a letter, but oh well.
Cannot share his life. She is left alone. She is left alone. Was his at sea in a way so she. Oh,
Yeah, she's constantly bored.
Good day, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day? You seem a little out of breath.
Aye, 'tis but my bodice. My maidservant did lace it far too tightly. Methinks she is a trifle vexed with me. Indeed, the atmosphere in the Fortescue household is exceeding ill at present.
Verily? And why is that?
Someone has been stealing food from the larder in the night. This morning, 3 whole swan pies were missing. Each member of the Fortescue household suspects another.
And whom do you think is the author of these thefts, madam?
Well, I suspect my son Harold, as his fondness for pie is well known. But Harry denies it and has accused our maidservant Gladys. And 'tis true that Gladys has become suspiciously wide about the girth of late. And as for Gladys, well, she is convinced the culprit is our African parrot, Sir Muncelot Grey. But Sir Muncelot has denied the accusation and blames my monkey.
Ah, and who does your monkey blame?
How now, Dr. Forman? Be not absurd. Monkeys cannot speak.
Ah, yes. Then 'tis fortunate that God can. Speak to us, that is, by way of the stars. Who in the Fortescue household has been sneaking into the larder at night to steal pies?
Sybil Fortescue is a hypocrite. She needs to turn her finger of accusation on herself, for she ate all the pies. I kind of had a feeling. Sybil's family and friends have exercised constraint and discipline in relation to the pies. Sybil's intuition about the identity of the pie thief is wrong. The solution to this mystery is counterintuitive. The thief is the one suspect who has maintained their silence. The Fortescue children have been raised well. They know not to steal pies. Evil from a foreign country is indicated here. Miss Fortescue is advised to make changes to her will. She must cut her maidservant out of it. Mistress Fortescue's maidservant is untrustworthy and aggressive. I feel like it is Fortescue herself. I have her letter of rec. It's fine. 1, 2, 3, just 4. Yes.
Madam, I have both good and bad tidings for you from the stars. First, the good tidings. Neither your son, your servants, nor your pets are responsible for the thefts.
Excellent. Indeed, that is well to hear. And the bad tidings? Oh, my days! You mean 'tis someone from outside? A burglar has been entering our house during the night to raid our larder.
Nay. I am not quite sure how best to put this. The bad tidings are that, according to the stars, the pies are being stolen by you, madam.
By me? But do you jest, Dr. Forman? Doubtless the theft of our pies seems trifling to you, sir. Methinks I shall take my leave now and not importune you any further.
Well, that didn't work out well, but, I have her letter of rec anyways. But thinks Harry may be right. How else could Gladys have grown so fat?
Humphrey Bell, to play our leading Jane. You must pay the price of looking thin and nice. Drink all your fears, cease all your guilt, and shame, lest you be judged and we accord you blame.
Good even, Mr. Bell. What brings you so late this evening, young sir? Have you come from the playhouse?
Yea, I'm come from playing a Duchess in a special performance of Richard II. You know, that play that makes the Queen look bad.
So, Mr. Shakespeare decided to revive his play, did he? I see.
I need you to tell me what to do about my pay. Our seamstress told me she heard Mistress Burbage discoursing how John Crisp is getting paid a full shilling for each performance.
And you feel this is unfair, I take it? I gather Mr. Crisp's pay is greater than yours.
Aye, sir. 'Tis full twice as much coin as they pay me. What I get is barely enough to cover my rent. And my parts are well bigger than his, innit?
And you can fathom no reason for this disparity in pay? He is more experienced, perchance.
What? I've been on the stage since I was a boy, and John's been playing for less than a year. Nay, sir. Mr. Burbage and them other company sharers are paying me less on account of how I'm doing the lady parts.
You mean to say you are being paid less simply because you perform lady roles?
Indeed. John only gets them main parts because he's big and tall, but I'm well better than he is. Critics call my Ophelia the most tantalisingly nubile and tragical performance since Henry Condell's Juliet.
Ah, yes. Having seen Hamlet, I would have to agree with them there. I must own that I, too, found your Ophelia most comely and alluring. Now, let's see what the stars advise. What can be done about you being paid less than players of masculine roles?
Humphrey can solve his problems by using his romantic allure to seduce a woman. Humphrey should continue to perform his duties and remain quiet about the discrepancy in pay. It's not fair for him, though. Humphrey should wait. Pay equity will come in time. No, it's not. Humphrey must uncover the truth about what his colleagues are paid. Humphrey's employers are shrewd businessmen. Secrets are allowing Humphrey's employers to behave hypocritically. Sounds par for the course. But Humphrey's boss will do evil to others if it means safeguarding his legacy. Humphrey's boss's wife is pregnant with a masculine child. His boss can therefore not be trusted. What? What does that have to do with anything?
According to the stars, your employers, the Lord Chamberlain's men, are very wise businessmen.
How do you reckon that? On account of them contriving to pay me less than I deserve?
Precisely so, Mr. Bell. And being so wise, they doubtless deter their hired men from discoursing upon the coin they receive for their labour, perchance to the extent where the men harbour such feelings of shame and suspicion about it, they would more readily show each other their privy parts before they would show their pay.
Aye, 'tis true enough. We oft pull our yardles out when we're jesting about and that. But as for a man's pay, forsooth, 'tis considered most private.
Well, such prudery must end if you and your fellow players are to advance your interests, Mr. Bell. Indeed, methinks that if you were all to begin freely discoursing upon these matters, you will find you are not the only player being paid unjustly. If you do decide to demand more coin from your employers, I advise you to unify with the other hired men and speak as one voice.
Zah! We shall unify and demand them company sharers pay us equal coin for equal playing.
Okay, work union. Starting now. Go for it, Mr. Bell. Querent did lately learn he was being paid less than players who perform masculine roles and sought my counsel on what he might do about it. I did advise the Querent to encourage the other players to share knowledge of what they are paid, then go together to demand coin that reflects the value of their skill and experience. Wonder where he got this notion of unifying them. Dr. Forman is well ahead of his time in it. Oh.
Hear ye, hear ye! Earl of Essex, foiled in Queen, kidnap, attempt, shocker! Biggest treason fail since Babington plot! Hear ye!
Wait, what happened? Robert Devereaux, Earl of Essex, has been arrested for plotting to kidnap the Queen and install himself as protector of the realm. Devereaux is reported to have bribed a company of players to stage a revival of William Shakespeare's King Richard II. Ah. As this play invites treasonous comparison between the weak and incompetent King Richard and our present sovereign Queen Elizabeth, it was Devereaux's intention to use it to rouse an angry mob and lead them to the gates of Kensington Palace. Failing to muster sufficient support from the London populace, however, Devereaux was compelled to return home to Essex House, where he was arrested. I think we're gonna leave it there for now. Whoops. We messed up Devereaux's life too. That's not good. It's okay though, I already got a letter of rec from him. But yeah, we're gonna call it. And continue Friday. Man. Don't know. Wait, hold on. Don't know how many more cases I have. I possibly might have one more. Patient we haven't met. Okay, so Alice has 2 more cases. Moore has 1 more. Mary Payne needs to come to us 3 more times. Whitgift only has 1 more, and like we're very close to get his letter of rec anyways, because we're at 90%. Humphrey has 4 more cases with his unization thing, and Emma still needs to come back for 2 more cases. So quite a bit left, and like I only have 4 out of 8 letters of rec. Looking at things, I could probably get 2 more. I'm not sure about Alice, Mary Payne, and Humphrey and Emma Sharp. But yeah. until Friday, don't die like my patients. Oh, whoops.